Hello again, YouTube. This is the Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel. Now, I want to talk about human cloning on this video, and y'all got to pay attention. I know I ain't got all the sound bites. I don't got all this, all that. But this video, make sure you share this video wherever you be, because this is important. You know, they just came out with the movie, they cloned Tyrone, which I haven't seen as of yet. But I'm going to break this thing down and mention some groups that you might not know about in terms of this cloning thing. And I'm going to get into the biblical aspect of this. Me personally, my belief is that it's been revealed to me that this is how the devil, the beast, and the false prophet will be able to experience the pains of torment forever, is because as well as the people, here's what I believe. The people that were already dead, like the people that's dead right now that didn't make it, name wasn't in the book of life, they're gonna receive when they get raised in the second resurrection. Remember, it's the first and the second. The first resurrection is basically the people who name in the book of life at the point of their death. They go in their spirit form to be in the kingdom of the Most High God. But in the end, they're going to receive a different form, as well as me and you and whoever else from this generation that can be seen, so on and so forth. They're going to need to eat. That's why the leaves, the tree of life with the 12 different fruit, we're going to always eat. The only time a person don't eat is the in-between time, like when they die. You still, like people that go to the heaven, they don't experience hunger. But people that go to hell, they experience hunger every day. To see, the Most High takes away negative emotions when you, that's why it says he tell them to rest for a little while. He give the people that make it their white robe and tell them to rest for a little while. And they were able to talk. Remember how long, you know, so people probably kick back. They're probably talking to each other. But all y'all, you know, here's what's going on. Shout out to YouTube. YouTube, let this play out. Be fair. But here's what's going on. There's people who are tied to other people who make themselves important or are viewed as important, and some of these people have ties to Satan, direct ties to Satan and various evil spirits. They get pushed out front because they want them to have the influence. That's how the beast is going to be able to come to power. The beast that we hear about in the Bible, that's going to be a political figure. And we don't know exactly if it's like going to be a person that comes back from the dead with an evil spirit in them, or if it's a person that's just evil in general. Some people believe it's going to be the first cloned person, but I might have to do two parts. We'll see how this plays out. But I want to start by reading the scripture to you, and then we're going to go to something. Let's see. We're going to go 2 Thessalonians. 2 Thessalonians. Wait, give me a second. 2 Thessalonians. Okay, so listen to this, and this is the King James version. I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but I'm just going to highlight some of the things I want to talk about. So we're going to go starting at verse 3 of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means." Why? Because men are deceiving. Y'all buying into this fake fame and fortune. Y'all buying into it, so y'all don't listen to who y'all should listen to all the time. It says, "For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. See, just like they do now, people going to be getting credit for stuff. So they'll be like, well, he came up with this technology that heals, and they're going to tie everything into it. Social credit score, your agreement with them. You know how you got to sign an agreement on a lot of stuff? Your agreement with them is going to determine whether or not you get the technology. Y'all be so hungry to do this, hungry to do that. Well, I just want to walk again. All that. Be careful. So it says, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Look at verse 4. Who opposeth, this King James, and exalted himself above all that is called God. You know why I say it like that? Because he gonna say that he over all these, he over Jehovah's Witnesses, he over Allah with the Muslims, he over Jesus Christ with the Christians and the Most High God, and he gonna say he over everybody. Or that is worship, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Now, here's what I believe. Either this beast is going to be cloned, because the Bible say he's going to die. He's going to take a wound to the head. But it says he's going to be raised back up. People don't believe that's Jamie Foxx. His eyes are black. Same thing with Eminem. When Eminem came out looking different, y'all, but we ain't, we ain't gonna get into that too much. So make sure y'all share this, man. That'll make it harder for them to shadow ban it. Share it on Facebook, whatever. So it says, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. Verse 7. You can read verse 6 yourself. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work, only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Remember on the Guardians of the Galaxy, I forgot the name of the character. Idris Elba was playing the character where he was controlling who goes back and forth. Some of this stuff, y'all, be the real stuff. And we're going to get... I guarantee you don't know about everything I'm getting ready to say in a second. Revelation 20:10. It says, and the devil who deceived them was thrown into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are also, and they will be tormented forever and ever. For you to be tormented forever and ever, you can spiritually. But this is going to be a whole, I'm telling you, man, this is going to be something different. That's how the devil is going to be able to be tormented forever and ever, because the devil going to take a form. Remember, if you go to Revelation chapter 13 and talk about how the two beasts came out of the sea. You think if they came out looking like alligators that people will listen to them? Okay, so let's go to something real quick. Let's get into the cloning of it. Let's listen to this. This is Stat News 2020, first opinion. Human reproductive cloning. The curious incident of the dog in the nighttime. I was looking to see how much time I got. Now, y'all do know they cloned a sheep named Dolly back in 1997. Let's get into some things involving that. I'm going to read a lot. Cloning human embryos has been possible for nearly 7 years. Yet, as far as I know, this is somebody talking. During that time, no one has made a clone baby or apparently has tried to make one. And what I find most surprising is that no one has announced that they intend to make one. Now, it talked about, I mentioned Dolly, and they're talking about Dolly. February 27th, 1997, they cloned a sheep and named that sheep Dolly. Now, creating Dolly meant taking an egg from one sheep, removing its DNA, carrying nucleus fusing into the egg a cell from another sheep. In this case, from a cell line from a sheep that had been dead for several years. Then hitting the resulting cell with a jolt of electricity. When this technology, well, let's get off subject. Remember Weird Science? Those of y'all in my age group. Frankenstein, those of y'all in my age group. What did they do? See, they be putting stuff right in our face, man. They hit both of them with electric shock. On Weird Science, they had a Barbie doll. And they shocked her and did some things. And she came to life. One of my favorite 80s movies of all time, even though it's a little vulgarity in it. But hey, man, who's keeping score? So, it says when this technique finally worked, the researchers tried it unsuccessfully 250 times. The resulting cell began to grow and divide. It was successfully implanted into a sheep's uterus and eventually became a healthy lamb. Although this clone was just a sheep, the discussion turned immediately to clone humans, clone designer babies, and armies of clone warrior slaves. I got a book coming out, y'all. I ain't gonna give no details. But it's crazy how the Most High put that book in my mind. This is similar to some of the stuff we read right now. So, governments around the world rush to ban human cloning, or to say that they already banned human cloning, a procedure that had never been done or even tried. Now, there's been political figures, allegedly, that it was funny to me, man, I laughed so hard, that they were in two places at once. They was in two places at once. I ain't gonna mention their name because I'll definitely get shadow banned. But let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. At the same time, in the first years after the Dolly announcement, various people and groups said that they were going to clone a human. One of the first was aptly named Richard Seed. S-E-E-D. He probably ain't. That's fish. How he would have a name like that. A physicist who, in spite of his well-covered announcement, seemed to have done nothing. Two OB-GYNs, Severino Antonori and Panayotis Zavos, proclaimed their invention to create the first human clone within 2 years. Both said they had successfully started human clonal pregnancies, but neither one has ever announced any births. How much time I got? Okay, we got 8 minutes. Most fascinating of all was the religious cult named the Raelians. Instead of aliens, they was Raelians. R-A-E with the 2 dots over it. L-I-A-N-S if you want to research. They announced that a religious command from aliens, this is what they announced, told them to go forth with cloning humans. Y'all know what I believe about aliens, right? I believe that aliens are really the fallen ones. Do I look like I'm smiling? But we're going to keep going. They announced that a religious command from aliens, let me read it again, told them to go forward with cloning humans. In 1997, about 3 months after Dolly's birth was announced, the group called Cloniad, C-L-O-N-A-I-D, an organization dedicated to that end, led by biochemist Bridget Boselier. The Raelians operated a laboratory in Nitro, West Virginia, aimed at human cloning until stopped by the Food and Drug Administration. Maybe they went down. They got to get down, you know what I mean? Undaunted, Clonade moved its operation to the Bahamas on December 27, 2002. The group announced that the first clone baby, named Eve, how fitting, had been born the day before. By 2004, Clonade claimed to have successfully brought to life 14 human clones. How we know they ain't lying, y'all? These claims are widely disbelieved, in part because Clonade did not allow independent testing of the babies. supposedly to protect the privacy of the babies and their families. As far as we know, neither the Raelians nor anyone else succeeded in using the Dolly process, technically called somatic cell nuclear transfer, to clone humans. In the meantime, more conventional researchers were discovering just how hard it was to clone human embryos, or not even non-human primate embryos. These researchers were not trying to make babies. They were trying to make cloned human embryos, and they hoped to keep them alive long enough to make human embryonic stem cell lines from them. So, y'all know we hearing about stem cell. Y'all know we hearing about STEM. So, don't think this stuff ain't going on. It says, in March of 2004, Hwang Woo-suk, a South Korean scientist, and his colleagues reported in the journal Science that they had successfully cloned human embryos. Now, y'all do realize that we always 25. And I done got into this, I think, good enough where I can stop in 20 minutes. They successfully cloned the human embryo. It took another 6 years for it's another group. Shokrat Mataliapov and his team at Oregon State Health University worked on cloning using more than 15,000 monkey eggs in an effort to make a cloned non-human primate embryos. In 2007, they reported making embryonic stem cell lines for monkeys and finding that was quickly replicated. They were not able, however, to make baby monkeys, at least they say. Okay, and then it says, skimming down, the following year they reported having done with the same cells from adult humans. They did the same thing with adult humans. So here's what I believe. There's some information out there, go find it yourself, that they can clone a human being and that human being can get up to the age of the human being that they use their DNA. Y'all see how people coming up missing? It's possible. That I'm just saying. That movie is on to something. I saw the preview. It's on to something. It's right in our face, y'all. The information out there says that they can cause a human clone to be at its normal age and size within 9 months. But that was years ago. Now it's probably 2 months, 3 months. So don't be surprised if you, in the future, you see Tupac rapping again. And it's really him. Because here's what I believe in closing. I believe that one of the things the demons gonna do is they're gonna figure out a way to put themselves in these people. And they gonna be working through the people y'all love the most. Remember, the abyss is gonna be open. Once that trumpet blasts, the fifth trumpet, the abyss is gonna be open and everybody in there is gonna come out. I believe that's the great delusion. It says that he shall send a strong delusion, that they'll believe the lie. And the lie is gonna be dealing with that cloning stuff, I'm telling you. They gonna figure it out. The Most High gonna let them. He gonna let them. But it's really game. Because the Most High wants to torment the devil, those sons that follow, and everybody that follows them. So we'll come back on this. If y'all want me to talk about this more, put it in the comments. Share the content. Share the content. Stop being jealous. Share the content. On Instagram, well, it might get bad from there. Facebook, wherever. This stuff is going on, man. It's in the Bible, man. That's part of the great delusion. It says the Most High gonna send a strong delusion. And it says that the Antichrist, being the beast, is gonna blaspheme him for 3.5 years. Like, I came back to life. Y'all want to talk about Jesus? Nobody has no proof that he came back to life. Y'all saw me dead, and y'all see me alive now. He gonna be blaspheming God. But anyway, I'm gonna get going. We'll talk about this more. This is The Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel.